Alright guys, welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I'm Adam, obviously. Hope you guys are all doing well. This is a little tactics chat with the news that Paul Pogba is set to miss 4 to 6 weeks of the season. Yes, 4 to 6 weeks out with that hamstring pull that he pulled up with. Excuse the pun, it wasn't even a pun, just accidentally came out. That he pulled up with against FC Basel in the Champions League. United went on to win comfortably with his replacement in that game, Marouane Fellaini, scoring the opening goal and putting in a decent performance too. But will Marouane Fellaini become Paul Pogba's replacement for the next 4 to 6 weeks? Or what are the other options that Manchester United have going forward from here? Because we do have a few options in the midfield area, although Paul Pogba is going to be a huge miss for Manchester United. What does Paul Pogba bring to Manchester United's side? Well, since the arrival of Nemanja Matic, he's obviously had a little bit more freedom in the team, but with him playing either in a midfield 2 with Nemanja Matic in a 4-2-3-1 or in a midfield 3 where he comes up on the left hand side. With him playing in this position, he's allowed to, of course, give protection to the fullback, the left-hand sided fullback, which he always does anyway. But with Matic there's less responsibility on him to do that. So what Paul Pogba can do is get forward. He gets forward quite quickly. He can bring the ball from defence to attack very, very quickly, and is a throwback to a box-to-box midfielder. People talk about Paul Pogba and they say various things, but one thing that rarely gets mentioned is how he is a throwback to a box-to-box midfielder. He can tackle, he can defend, he can get involved at the back, makes lots of interceptions as well, but also he gets forward. He completes plenty of take-ons, he completes plenty of key passes, he makes plenty of chances for his teammates. He's an all-round midfielder who can do it all. So without him in the side, Manchester United will be missing an awful lot without Paul Pogba. But how do we replace him in the team? Is it a case of going with a 3 in midfield and obviously bringing in 2 players to replace Paul Pogba? Or do we continue to go with the midfield 2, and what are our options? In a midfield 2, I think there's only one option for Manchester United, and that is to accompany Nemanja Matic with Ander Herrera. Now, when I say this, I'm thinking about the game against Everton, Southampton away, etc. Because those are the games where we will need to protect our back 4, but also we'll need to get the ball quickly and forward quickly too. So in Herrera and Nemanja Matic, we have players that can do that. Now obviously Ander Herrera coming in doesn't have the attacking prowess of Paul Pogba, but what he will do is protect his left-hand sided defender, who will always need protection coming down that left-hand side, with either Martial or Rashford playing in the front position on that left-hand side. The left fullback always needs protection. Herrera can do that, but also he makes plenty of interceptions. He breaks down the play. He can get the ball going forward to our attacking men, and whether that's Mata, Mkhitaryan, Anthony Martial, Rashford, whoever, they have got the pace to get things going. Now obviously, whereas when we play with Paul Pogba, he can take 3-4 strides up the pitch and he's already in the attacking final third. Obviously Ander Herrera doesn't have that ability, and he needs to rely on his passing a little bit more. But I think this is one of the best options for Manchester United, bringing in Ander Herrera and making a midfield 2 of Matic and Herrera, which will just sit there and allow for the front men to do their damage. Obviously we lose that attacking prowess of Pogba, but any team that is without Paul Pogba would miss him. I don't care who you are. Now this third option is an option that I think Jose Mourinho will go with. Definitely in the away games. You're looking at Moscow away, you're looking at even Southampton away, and I think it's the midfield 3 that he will go with, because you can bring in 1 or 2 players that can replace that influence of Paul Pogba. Now I think playing a midfield 2 of just Matic and Fellaini, I think that's way too one-dimensional, and it's not got enough pace in it, not got enough going forward for me. So if you're going to play Fellaini and Matic, you have to play them in a midfield 3, in my opinion, and I'd go with Matic, Fellaini and Herrera. You have Fellaini there then, who is someone that can become a nuisance for the opposition, break up the play, become an aerial threat, similarly to what Paul Pogba is for us as well, because he not only provides us with great skill, great passing. He's also got that aerial presence, that physicality to him that Jose Mourinho was brought into the side. So Fellaini can replace that side to him. And we have seen Marouane Fellaini put in some very good performances recently for Manchester United, and maybe it's something to do with Jose Mourinho getting in his head and obviously speaking him up as well, talking highly of Marouane Fellaini, speaking about how much he needs Marouane Fellaini. So I think with the confidence Fellaini has in him at the moment, I think this midfield 3 option is one that Jose will probably go with quite a lot. Obviously, you've got Matic in there who become the protection for that back 4. Herrera, who will be looking to break things up and get things going and get the ball moving forward. And Fellaini, who as well becomes that physical presence, can also become someone who can become a target going forward. And of course, can help out in that midfield as well. But Paul Pogba is a huge miss for Manchester United. And that's one thing that has to be made clear. Paul Pogba is an absolute huge miss for Manchester United. And what this means now is Matic is key. Matic is in any of those options. Of course, against Burton Albion, you can replace him and take him out of the side, give him a rest. But I think in the Premier League, in the Champions League, Matic now holds vital importance while Paul Pogba is out. If we lose Matic, I think the midfield is looking very, very weak. Yes, you've got Michael Carrick that can come in, but he can't play week in, week out. That's the unfortunate way of life. He's got older now. He's not going to be able to play week in, week out. He can still come in and do a job, but United without Paul Pogba need people who are going to do more than a job week in, week out. And Nemanja Matic is someone that we've really got to protect now. Wrap him up in cotton wool. Don't play him when we don't need to. Rest him when we can, because if we lost Matic and Pogba at the same time, oh Lord. Hopefully though, Pogba is back for that game against Liverpool. We've got Liverpool in about 4 weeks. So hopefully Paul Pogba can get back for that game. And who knows, he may make an even speedier recovery. But at this moment in time, it isn't looking good for Paul Pogba. We have got depth in our squad though, and there are options there as I've just shown you. Guys, get your comments in below. What would your choice be for Manchester United's midfield? A midfield 2, a midfield 3? What is your selection? Get your comments in below. How much of a miss is Paul Pogba? Who are you looking forward to seeing in that midfield now that Paul Pogba is out? And the decision to let Pereira and Fosu Mensah go, has that come to backfire on Jose Mourinho? Get your comments in below. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well. Like, comment and share. I'm AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.